another yard walk. I haven't done a yard walk since I planted a lot of things. So you're looking at Sista. This is my scarecrow. I need still to paint a face on her, and yeah, she needs some work, but she kind of sits here and keeps us company when we sit in the porch swing over there. My Kleenex box, or my box of paper towels, that's working really good now since I accordion folded them. And I got a little trash can out here. I've got down in here, this is a succulent holder from last year. We poked some moss rose in there, and then I've got a newer one over on this side over. You can't see it too well. It's down there. I got a fern plant. I think I showed you that. Let me stand up. I got a fern plant and hanging petunias here. This is the bird cage. I think I got this a couple years ago. I can't find my other yard ornaments. I think somebody stole them from the backyard. I don't know. I'll ask my brother if he's seen them lately. Pots of petunias. If you pluck the dead heads off of these, if I can get this one off with my left hand, they grow a lot better, and they'll bush out a lot more. I need to come in and do it. I'm not going to do it with the camera hanging. I've got 4 pots of petunias and another fern. Beautiful pink geraniums. I'm calling these Becky geraniums now, because I thought I bought begonia, and Becky said, no, Mary, those are geraniums. So these are Becky geraniums. They're doing nice. Some of them will need to be pulled pretty soon. Not pulled, but the blooms plucked off. And then these petunias down here on the shepherd's hooks came in white pots like these, and I didn't think they were big enough, so I repotted them in these. I bought some larger cocoa liners, and yeah, they're looking good. They're looking very pretty. Now, I like to have petunias on the shepherd's hooks. Kind of heavy, it's bending the hook down, but the hooks in there pretty good. Hosta plants are doing really nice. And there's some violet there, a weed. And these were phlox. They bloom real pretty every year. And I think we got some, I'm not sure, some black-eyed Susan hiding in there. I planted zinnia seed all up in here, and the babies are coming up. Now, I haven't planted Kimberly's zinnia seed yet. I think I'm going to plant them where the onions are now. And then over here, we have more pink geraniums and a pot of flowers here. I usually put my lavender plant in here, but I did not buy one. Well, I did, but I didn't buy one to put in here this year. So I just planted a geranium and some vinca, some moss rose in there. I still need to clean my bird feeder. That's a task I need to do. The daffodils are all bloomed and starting to dry out, so I'll be mowing this in a couple of weeks. So hostas are doing really pretty. Let's walk out to the corner. The reason I'm doing this is our hollyhocks are blooming. I want to show you the blooming hollyhocks. They're looking nice this year. We have iris plants in here. A few of them have bloomed and they're dying down. This is the stone fence I was talking about in my stream this morning. My brother built this even before I came down here. And I'm going to plant vine all along the edge here. I wouldn't mind if that vine took over this whole area. Here are the hollyhocks. I'm going to walk around on the street. The hollyhocks are blooming. They are so pretty. And they've come up volunteer every year from the first time I planted, and they just reseed themselves, and they floated out to the edge of the curve here this year. A lot of hollyhocks in here. Yeah. And Yeah, they're blooming really nice. I planted some begonia. It's kind of hard to see. I did get some begonia. I went back and got some. I got the last tray of them at Menards, but they are down in here, some begonia plants. I did water here. I did not water this spot because I don't have any planted here. I could put Kimberly's zinnia, but I think I'll hold off on that and put them out where the onions are, because then I know exactly where they are. These are mineral tubs. I filled them with petunias and impatiens and marigolds. Yeah. And there's a car coming. Got a hosta. I can buy hosta plants and they don't survive out here, but these are Mom's that my brother brought down from my mom's house, and they seem to adapt well to this. I did dried compost down here, 12 to 15 wheelbarrows of it. And these are just wild violets that are growing. I'm leaving them. I've got some jumping Jenny over here that's survived for the last couple of years. I haven't done anything out here, and my jumping Jenny survived. Now, there's grass starting to grow up in here. I'm going to have to get out and weed again. But these are marigold all up in here, and I've got a couple of fern plants over there. Seem to be doing okay. So that's the corner. I'll walk back up toward the house. I see we got dandelions popping out. I think I'll get the weed eater out and chop them down before they go to seed. It's been hot and cool here. Perfect dandelion weather, I guess. So I'm walking up toward the house. This is some of that vine that I want to transplant out to that fence. And I can see somebody's chatting, but I can't see you because of the screen is really dark. So when I get done doing the walk, I'll come sit in the porch swing and chat. But all of this is vine, and it just spreads. And I want to put some of it out there where that stone fence is, and it's taken over the doorway there. We don't use that door much. Sometimes when people come, they hobble up there. This, my brother has bulb plants in here, and they've all, they bloomed and died down in the spring. I need to get some annuals to put in there. I haven't done much to this area. And it looks like, I don't know, are those roses in there? A couple of roses back in there, I can't tell. This is my mom's rose bush, or my brother brought it down from my mom's. And he put some stump killer in here. I'm really glad he did. Now, before I walk over toward the garden, I want to walk this way. These are irises that they've bloomed real pretty this year. I did not get very many pictures of them, but they've all closed up. And then the Asiatic iris, they're going to bloom. And they're very, very pretty. I've got a tree over there that I need to cut down. And the corner I kind of cleaned out. I usually put a pepper or tomato in here, but I put this plant. It's called wormwood, and it seems to be doing okay. If I can see if I can find some more annuals on sale, I'm going to put them around in there. The peonies have all bloomed, and it looks like we've got a couple trees to cut down, and I'm going to have to get out my little handy chainsaw that got some trees to cut down, volunteer trees. Now this is where I had the cannabulbs, and you can see where those white markers are is where there's a cannabulb. They're not coming up, and I'm very, very disappointed because I bought them from Holland Bulb Farm, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get them in there. They'll be good ones. Ha! I got two coming up. Let's walk this way. Maybe I just have to be a little more patient, but I'm trying. I'm going to leave them in there and see what happens. I've got one coming up here and one coming up there, but they sent them to me much too late. These are my mineral tubs that I planted potatoes in grow bags, and they are starting to branch out here. And the ones inside of the grow bags, I think, Whoops, did I lose you? No. There we go. The ones inside of the grow bags, if they make potatoes, we'll probably save them. The ones outside, I'm not so sure about, because these are, even though they've been washed really good, these are mineral tubs for supplements for cow feed, I think. I got them from some farmer. I bought 10 of them. Over here is, oh, I wanted to say, all up and down here, I planted coneflower, old seed that I had. I'm going to see what comes up right against the railroad ties. And in front of the can of bulbs, what may or may not come up, I planted old marigold seed. And I just did that yesterday, so it hasn't had a chance to sprout yet. My brother's cucumbers are here. They look like they're going to do fine. My brother's cucumbers. My squash plant that I bought by mistake, but it's really thriving here. And I put down a lot of landscape fabric because the weeds drive me crazy. My brother's, he's got 3 tomato plants here. 1, 2, and 3. He likes Liberty tomatoes. 2 zucchinis. I think that's an eggplant. This is my Roma tomato plant. And these are the onions that I planted earlier this spring. They're ready to be pulled. We'll start eating out of these. And I think out here, when I pull my onions, I'm going to plant Kimberly's zinnia plants in here. Kimberly sent me a packet of zinnia. Over here is where I've already watered out here. This plot up in here. We planted 4 rows of sweet corn. And we just got that done because there was a big pile of dirt there. And it took me forever to move the pile of dirt. So our sweet corn will be late. It might be ankle high by the 4th of July. I've got another, this is a sweet potato plant, and I have some regular seed potatoes on the outside. Over here I have lavender and butterfly weed. I don't water this bucket too much because they don't like a lot of water, I'm hearing. This is my raised bed. I've got 2 cherry tomato plants. I'll get the cages out pretty soon. I see one is blooming in there. So I like cherry tomatoes. I've got some pepper plants and 2 asparagus ferns. I'm not sure what that is. I think this is a basil. And I think that's maybe basil over there or a pepper over there. Over in here, I have a rosemary, and I'm not sure, I think that's a pepper plant. A row of marigolds. In here, a row of, I guess I gotta turn it this way. A row of marigolds. Some petunias I just stuck in here. A pepper, I think this is sage. Or, parsley. Got a Harvard public school doing something. So this is more just for fun in here. Over here is my watermelon, and I'm saving them from the rabbits. You can kind of see them in there. I think they'll get plenty of light. When they get a little larger, I won't put those on there. But the rabbits ate all my other watermelon plants. I rescued 2 of them. This is another wormwood and some petunias around it, like what I want to do over in that corner tub. I've got a tub of dirt that I need to plant something in. Over here I have some dahlia and petunias just in pots. And then I've got a very long row of marigolds going this way. Now let me, I kind of like these landscape fabrics so I can walk. Walk to the end of the row here. Over here I've got another mineral tub where I planted, this is a lantana, and he bloomed really pretty. I don't know if I need to pick off those seeds or not. I'll have to read more about lantana. Some petunia around in there. Another dahlia, and some petunias. So if you look out here, I got the corn plot tilled yesterday, and I tilled all around. I tilled in there and across, and I was coming back for the second row, and right about in there, that tiller started smoking really bad. I thought it was going to catch on fire. I ran. My brother was sitting over here. He keeps an eye on me when I'm tilling, because that tiller is kind of hard to handle. And of course he ran over and turned it off, and he checked the oil, and he thought maybe he put some more oil in it, but that didn't help it. We think our tiller died. And he has a little hand tiller that he got out for me. It's way off over that way, but I can take the hoe. I finished digging up the weeds on this half and in here, and I can hoe all this. I don't want those weeds to grow up. What I don't get planted in here, I'm going to see what kind of plants are left in July. Usually they go on sale, and I'm going to see what I can get and put in here. I have some old seed that I might just throw out in here. This year it was more about prep work, but I did get some things planted, and I'm happy with what's going on. So let me walk back over to the front porch, and I'll sit down and see what kind of chat is going on. I mowed the lawn last Monday, but if we have more rain, it can be mowed again. The dandelions are popping out all over the place. My next tasks are to move some of this vine out to the stone fence and to clean the bird bath and finish with that hand tiller on the yard. So let me walk over here to the porch swing and to get my little sister. I named the scarecrow here Sister, because you guys always say, hello, sister. And that reminds me, we haven't seen Cheryl Johnson. I wonder how she's doing. Anybody heard of from Cheryl? Cheryl, we miss you if you're listening. So let's see. I think I don't have very many people in here, but somebody said hi. Let's see. Karen K. Hi, Karen. Welcome in. She's the only one who's talking to me. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, and I've mowed the lawn now about 6 times. That's a bell hanging off of my chime. So I just wanted to do another short walk around the yard. I really wanted to show you the hollyhocks that are blooming. I don't want to stay on too long because I think Barb Owen is coming on pretty soon, if she's not on now. Who else popped in there? Whoops, hold on, I got Ruth. Hi, Ruth Lamb. I have been busy. It's a lot more work than it seems, you know, when you walk around and show things. You know, you don't realize all the work, because I had to drag dirt out here to plant the zinnia. And yeah, and I cleaned that whole corner plot way out there. I didn't do anything with it last year, and it was a mess. And I had to clean all that out, and I hauled, like I said, 12 to 15 wheelbarrows of compost out there before I started planting, and had to haul out those mineral tubs out there and fill those with dirt and compost. And yeah, it's a lot of work. So Karen says hi to Ruth. I'm not going to stay on too long. I just wanted to do a quick walk around the yard. It's kind of cloudy, but it also is kind of muggy. I'm sweating. So it's going to get up in the 80s here today, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank you guys who popped in. I've been on about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go in and I think I'll tap a little. We're going to have lasagna for supper tonight, so I don't have to worry about what to eat, but I didn't eat any breakfast and I'm hungry. So I might go make me some toast. All right. have a great weekend if I don't see you. And Karen, I want to remind you, Monday night, we're having a Diggity Creators live stream. All right, everybody. Goodbye. Have a great weekend. Okie dokie. I'm going to sign off here. If I can find the button. Well,